Welcome back to another reaction. This reaction is Mindhunter. Ooh, I like that. I'm beyond excited to be getting into this. We only have, what? Like 1, 2, 3, 4 more episodes to go of this show. Obviously, we know that season 2 of Mindhunter was where they stopped, where they ended it all, and was due to budget. This is a very good show, but apparently the budget was budgeting, and it wasn't bringing enough viewers to Netflix, so Netflix definitely canceled the show. I'm ready to continue on. I think I said that already. If you would like to see this in a full reaction though, the link down below to my Patreon is available. Please click that link to Patreon and become a Patreon member today. There is another link as well, y'all. That link will bring you to my other YouTube channel, and that is Andres Reacts. Please go over there and subscribe today. Hit the notification bell on both of these channels so you are aware of when I do drop my reactions, which is random all over the place. I think I might put this show up on both platforms when I do release this this video, just because Mindhunter really goes with my other channel, which deals with like music reactions and then deals with criminal stuff. And this is definitely in that genre. So I'm gonna probably release it on both platforms. So both some people actually, believe it or not, that are on Andres Reacts have not subscribed to my other channel, vice versa. So that's why I'm gonna do that. So I hope you guys do enjoy this reaction. Don't forget to sign up to Patreon so you see it in a full reaction. Now, without further ado, let's jump into Mindhunter and find out exactly what the show has got to give. Park City, Kansas. Hey sis, her son is a killer.
He never said a word.
He tried to tell us, Bill. He kept saying, I'm sorry, Mommy. Was he trying to tell us, Bill?
I don't know, Nance. What did he think happened to that little boy?
He watched.
He knew enough to put him on a cross.
He thought it would bring him back to life. Are they gonna take him from us?
I won't let that happen. He has a good home. I'm dealing with a family matter. Can you tell him? Okay, I'll be waiting.
Damn.
Gunn wants to see me. I'm sorry, sir. I know I should be in Atlanta. I got a phone call.
Which is more than I got. Apparently Holden's introduction wasn't well received by the safety commissioner.
Have you spoken with Holden?
No.
Gave the commissioner an overview that we look for connections. He did explain he felt there could be a single black predator.
Holden was trying to steer the investigation into avenues the city doesn't want to explore right now, at least not publicly. If you sense that Holden is wading into political waters, it's your job to stop him.
I should have read the room better.
We want them to understand why they need us, not why they should be wary of us.
Ooh, and Bill is not in the mood, y'all.
Bernie told me there was nothing we could have done. It's all politics. I'm happy to talk to Ted.
No, you're not talking to anyone. You present a profile without ever having been to a crime scene? Next time, shut up until we've done some groundwork. I can point the finger at Holden, but I'm supposed to be watching him. Supposed to be his blinders. Look, I'll get better at it, but I need to take a little time today. Family thing.
Greg and I did Henley.
Greg.
Yeah, we thought you guys would be gone for weeks and we didn't want the interviews to lag.
He shit the rug, didn't he?
It was a team effort. The transcript should be done by tomorrow.
So we'll miss the trailers.
By the time we get our drinks and our seats, we'll definitely miss them. Look, it's just that I'm one of those people who needs to see the whole thing. Like, I like to get my popcorn, my seat. I like to watch the trailer.
It's gonna take me at least another minute to pull into this space. Definitely going to miss something. I have an unopened, very mediocre, probably spoiled bottle of Chablis in my apartment.
Do you have that wine?
I thought for sure I'd unsold you on that.
One's expansiveness of spirit needn't be reflected by one's personal surroundings.
Who's that? Oh, her son.
He's not bad. It's just the idea of shaping another life that terrifies me. I can barely manage my own.
Waved index cards. I'm happy that you're leading an authentic life.
I thought she was grossed out by all the dead plants.
You like baseball.
I mean, I'm sure I would if I ever went with you.
Wendy, I don't introduce my son to people I'm dating.
You know, I interview the byproducts of promiscuous mothers, and it's I'm not saying that you're... Can we just go back to just a few minutes after I had the best sex of my life and before I invited myself to Little League?
He's been through a lot, and I don't want to freak him out. Not until it's something.
Nice save, like mentor story. And just in time.
Then he adamantly denied being homosexual.
He was actually more defensive about that than he was about being called a sadist. He characterizes himself as a non-participant. It's amazing how he's able to compartmentalize.
I mean, procurement, as fucked up as it is, and murder.
Distinction, yes, but not absolution.
Can a teenager be held responsible for the actions of an adult?
He's having a moment right now, and we have to forgive him. Absolutely. He's referring to his son, his stepson, his son, call him a son. And as you can clearly see, he's becoming argumentative, and he's trying to make it okay what happened with his stepson in this situation, because his stepson and this person, this killer, or whatever this man was that went to jail, can't really remember his whole story, and it was a story, they're almost very similar. So right now, he's having a moment. Let's get back to his moment. Bloop.
How do we know Henley got off on it?
When I did something, whatever it was, I enjoyed it.
But incredibly, he acknowledges a deep connection with a man that he saw do horrific things. I've been thinking that we should talk about our tactics.
So far, the only thing that's worked is to talk about them.
Greg, would you give us a minute, please?
Damn, poor Greg.
I'm having a small gathering at my home, and I'd like you all to come. I'm could be a powerful advocate in D.C. I'd like him to hear a narrative directly from you, the people who created this. One more thing. I got you, Manson. When? 3 weeks.
Did you say Manson? We approach it like we do every interview.
No, this is the first time that we'll sit down with a subject who hasn't actually taken a life. Manson was the undisputed leader of his family.
Then that's our approach.
Ooh.
Brian did not directly engage in the activities that led to the death of the victim.
He thought it would bring Daniel back to life.
Stench, a child has been forever lost to his family. They cannot ignore that he had ample opportunity to go for help or to speak with you, his parents, after the fact. The state is obligated to try to understand his motives, to ensure he is not a danger to himself or the community.
A danger?
You have been assigned a caseworker and a mental health professional. Your compliance in this process is mandatory and will be critical in determining Ryan's future.
Don't try and sit this person down and explain your way out of this. It won't go over well with him.
We get to keep him at home, Nance.
Right.
To be poked and prodded by strangers? A social worker?
Nance, this is like the best offer ever, girl.
You won't defend your own child?
It's not a courtroom, honey. Art's right. We have to go through the process. He's coming home with us. Today was a good day.
It was. I don't think we should be dancing to this.
Seriously?
He's not bad.
Just tough to promote?
Diminutive, uneducated, ex-con. Convinced a group of middle-class teenagers to brutally murder 7 strangers. Linda Kasabian, 20, good student, described as a starry-eyed romantic.
Looks like a high school yearbook.
All grew up in average homes. Had high school education, some had college.
I think Bruno wasn't involved in the Tate LaBianca murders.
That's correct. She was arrested with Bobby Beausoleil. Bruner and Beausoleil tried to pin their murder on the Black Panthers by writing "Political Piggy" on the wall.
What's up with
And the
pig?
scene at Cielo Drive. Pig.
Oh,
In Sharon
God.
Tate's blood. Ever heard of Christian Aventa?
No.
Ex-con who declared himself a messiah. They'd emerge and create a new civilization.
That's right out of Manson's playbook.
Christian's playbook, doctrine calling it Helter Skelter.
Helter Skelter wasn't even Manson's idea.
As borrowed as the name.
He's a fraud. Kids like that. To do that.
Have you noticed any changes in his behavior? Self-soothing?
Not at all.
Do you read to him, Mrs. Tench? He likes Clifford the big red dog,
Almost off training wheels.
but no team sports.
No.
Oops.
What does he do when he's upset? He's not a big talker, but he always comes to us if he needs anything.
That must be so irritating.
And he attends the public school.
Yes.
Ruth felt he needed that kind of... Brian's just shy. I see.
What, they do all of this?
Corporal punishment?
Never.
No.
Do you have a weapon in the house?
I keep my gun in my office.
And you keep it locked?
At all times.
This is Miss Leland. Ms. Leland.
Oh!
Why don't you go inside and meet some Clifford? I'll be right in. Go on. He may be adopted, but he's our baby. Of course he is, Mrs. Tench. Please explain the process. Basic child safety. Your appointments with Dr. Moritz will be every Friday. You'll both need to attend. Submit regular reports to the Commonwealth Attorney with their recommendations. Ultimately, he'll make all decisions.
We do the exact same thing.
What's that?
Walk the crime scene. She's not our friend.
She was a key. She was such a key.
You hoping for an autograph?
It's research.
Try not to moisten yourself before you get inside.
Ooh, go ahead. Hold it. It's so fine.
This might be a bit of a wait. He's refusing to come out of his cell. I'm stunned.
Any chance Kemper's available?
I can check. No, not Kemper.
You need to ask Kemper about returning to the scene of the crime for BTK.
We know he did that. He told us.
We need to know why. Besides, how's Manson gonna feel when he finds out we're talking to Kemper?
Kemper and Manson were in the same jail?
Do you know that Holden came to see me when I was in the hospital? So Manson, huh? Word travels fast. Charlie takes a shit. And if you haven't heard, he'll tell you all about it. And somebody else took the shit for him. If you really want to understand how that all went down, you should talk to Tex, the All-American Bullet.
But we didn't come here to talk about Manson. I wanted to ask you about something you said a while back. About revisiting the sites of your victims.
At the murder site, I could relive the experience, feel the same elation.
What would make you decide to visit?
The feeling of complete dominance, total possession you get from a kill. Times I could stave off that need by remembering the moment of the kill. I kept things, little trinkets, reminders of my experience.
The Polaroids. Was there a specific amount of time, something you could measure when the souvenirs weren't enough?
Have you got somebody, Holden? Who is it? The East Area rapist, San Mateo slasher? I-45 killer down in Texas? You found somebody who hasn't made the news yet.
We can't discuss ongoing investigations, Ed, with anyone.
It's a taxing lifestyle. A lot of factors that go into success. I was very careful that all conditions were exactly right. This person you're after, he has an overwhelming fantasy life. These dreams will consume him. So the real world won't even compare. He'll live like any other person, have relationships, hold down a job.
We know killers don't have the tools to manage real life.
Seems to me everything you know about serial killers has been gleaned from the ones who've been caught. Did you save enough tape for the charlatan?
A bit extra.
You'll need it as a talker. Manson is really small. Like really small. Try not to stare.
Is he dead, Manson? I think he is.
You realize Kemper keeps reeling you in?
He's the most cogent, credible subject he's ever interviewed.
The bar is low.
You bought a new microphone.
For posterity.
Like a fucking king.
He is short.
Uncuff him, please.
What we're interested in is your relationship with your family, and what bearing that relationship had on the crimes.
We'd like to hear from you in your own words about what happened.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, he has a Nazi thing? Oh, he's racist?
Some members have blamed you for the murders, then changed their story. You maintain the same story.
Because my truth is simple, and your truth's complicated. These people you call a family, they're just children that you didn't want. You threw them out like trash. In love, there is no wrong.
Love. That's what you taught your family?
Yeah, he's a family man too, with his keys and his gun. He's teaching his children right now. These children that come at you with knives, they're your children.
They were your followers, Charlie. You gave them the knife.
You taught them?
Stood up, went out, and killed 7 innocent people.
Well, so now it's my fault? It's my fault that your children do what they do? No, you don't need to talk to me. It's yourself you need to talk to.
That summer you told the family now is the time for Helter Skelter. That they needed to start a race war.
So you're saying that this never happened?
Sure, I'm saying that never happened. Bugliosi is a genius, man. So he puts Linda Kasabian on the stand, and she tells a sad story about how she has lied. She wouldn't have any ulterior motive, like immunity for 7 counts of murder.
You're saying she lied?
You believe this Helter Skelter bullshit?
Death to pigs.
I might have had an opinion about blacks and whites and the houses they were having, but I don't recall saying anything about starting a race war. The DA grabbed Sadie's version, ran all the way through the courtroom with it. Charles Manson, the most dangerous man alive. Lay there in my cell wondering, wow, am I really all they say? I was halfway believing that shit myself.
You had a group of teenagers isolated in the desert. You gave them drugs, you convinced them you were God, and you sent them out to kill.
Tex and Sadie came to me and said, let's do some copycat killings to get him off. Tex Watson, the all-American boy, the pride of Cobell, Texas, I have better sense than to disagree with him.
We're responsible.
You got a circle that a man lives inside. He's responsible for his circle and his circle only. He can kill you with your mic cord, with your pencil. But I want to love myself, so I'm not going to do that.
Why didn't you go inside?
It was a crime scene. I'd have been in violation of my parole. Tex, he put himself on me, man. He tried to make me look weak. See, he went outside. He made his own circle. And what, now he wants to go back to Jesus loves me? There are no rights and wrongs. Only is.
Only is.
Whatever life is, it is. Right and wrong got nothing to do with it.
People did die, Charlie. You made sure of it.
Everything is love, man. There's nothing that isn't love. Put your clothes on backwards and let everyone laugh at you.
You're a coward, Charlie. A coward who takes no responsibility for his actions.
Children are killers.
No, I'm saying you're a killer.
I have killed no one.
You ordered them to go to that house and
no
slaughter
one to be
everyone there.
killed.
You're supposed to guide them.
Guide them into what? Guide them into what you guided them into?
You fucking midgets.
Just the anger that you got for you. Find someone else to put yourself on. I'm tired of being your ghost. I don't even have a name. I'm B33920. A bell rang. Get up. I'm Pavlov's dog, man. I'm anything you want me to be. See, I never had any say in your world. You created it.
Counts is that you ordered the deaths of 7 people. 8 if you count an unborn baby.
Prison's in your mind. Can't you see I'm free?
You don't look so free to me, Charlie.
You don't look free to me. You live for other people's opinion. You got pain on your face. And you wonder if you look okay. Hey, man. I like your sunglasses. Can I have them? Think you can.
The guru of Munchkin Lab can fuck off straight to hell as far as I'm concerned. Manson said he lifted these from me.
You said he stole them?
He was bragging about it. He's always made it home.
Manson being forced to go along with Tex and Sadie's copycat crime, or a race war predicted by the Beatles. Watson's an hour away. Let's just spend the night and talk to him.
I have to get home. If you stay and do this interview, I need to know. Can I trust you? Just go in, do the interview, come home. Got it?
I promise.
Tell me if you got it.
5:16. Something wrong with your watch?
FBI, is there any way you could hold the plane?
I'm sorry, sir. It's gone.
Oh, I felt bad for Bill.
I can catch him up on things if you want to start.
The appointment is for the benefit of both parents.
So sorry I'm late.
How did he get there?
Of course, it happens. What we're trying to do here is avoid as many red flags as we can.
Absolutely.
His intentions...
He didn't mean to do anything to that little boy.
Your knowledge of Brian's behaviors is going to be essential. But we have to complete the process methodically.
She makes all the things little words.
Let's start with home life. Why exactly were you late, Mr. Tench?
I work in behavioral sciences for the FBI. We conduct interviews with convicted felons, try to codify their behavior. I study multiple murderers.
I was late because I was in California interviewing Charles Manson.
Manson? Yeah, I must admit, I'm very intrigued by what that conversation was like. Could you share any tidbits?
Charlie's not a tough guy, so he created a prophet for somehow. A false prophet.
You said you had a loving family. You must have developed a moral compass before you ever met Charlie.
He would tell us to imagine there was a person in that chair, and we had to scare them to death. Charlie would talk about things we might do to them. Like break into their houses. Those ideas, they were only ours because they were his first. Once we incorporated them, he'd send us out creek crawling, sneaking into people's houses, moving furniture around. He said it would help us face our fears. The time Charlie said Helter Skelter was coming, we were doing really heavy stuff.
He told us Helter Skelter was concocted by the district attorney.
From the moment I met him, Charlie was talking about a race war. There's no tomorrow, there's no consequences. Doesn't matter what you do on your last day on Earth.
Charlie said you and Sadie came up with the murders as a way of getting Bobby Beausoleil out of prison.
Charlie kept saying that if Blackie didn't start Helter Skelter soon, then we'd have to show him how. Charlie wasn't about getting his hands dirty.
He did go to the house.
Only after it was all over. He told me to kill everyone.
What?
He said, make it as gruesome as you can. Told me, kill them all.
Why did he look down?
I had so many drugs in my system. My mind kept phasing in and out. Pulled the trigger. There was no thought, no feeling at all.
18-year-old Stephen Barrett.
There was a man asleep on the couch. It was quiet. A man was coming at me, yelling. I had the gun, so I shot him. Blood everywhere.
Did you feel anything then?
Sadie had to kick me to get me going, so I stabbed her.
You stabbed Abigail Folger 28 times.
I remember the knife going up and down, like hammering an engine block.
Could you see she was pregnant?
Oh, yeah. To take her with us, let her have her baby, and kill her after. I kept hearing Charlie's voice, kill them all. He told me over and over again, make sure everyone's dead. It's hard stabbing people Agent 4. Sometimes you hit a bone, hands were aching.
Think you would have ever killed anyone if you hadn't met Charlie?
I hope not. Pray to God I wouldn't have. I know in my heart I harbored anger. I shot and I stabbed them. Charlie never killed anyone. He just removed our fear of doing it. I killed those people. All of them. Those people are victims of the Watson murders.
First Manson, and then Jesus. He's just exchanged one belief system for another. He had influence over his young followers, much in the same way that Coral had over Henley. What if the point of Helter Skelter wasn't a race war, What if it was about control?
At Bianca House, Manson went in and tied up the victims before sending the killers in. He wanted to remind them that this was his plan. A guard chased me down and said Manson bragged to everyone he stole them from the FBI. He was willing to go to the hole just to look powerful.
Pretty detailed account of succumbing to brainwashing.
He didn't dismiss the idea that he would have killed without ever meeting Manson.
Manson found the right people. People who only had to have their fear removed to do what they did. He simply helped them be who they were.
Wow.
Nancy not coming?
Didn't want to drag her to another office thing. You?
Same.
Remember, all they want is a good war story.
Where's Holden?
Those. Appreciate it, and I do want you to have a good time. Speaking of which, someone I would love for you to meet. Warren. The good news is, I'm already a fan, so there's no need to sell me.
That's relief.
Let me have a drink, I don't know yet. I've read the transcripts, I've read the analyses, and they're fascinating. And truly original. Hardly what I expected from the Dr. Carr commentary on Ed Kemper's mutilation fantasies.
I'm afraid to ask what you expected.
A lot more tweed. Bill has been able to get things out of him. Speck, Berkowitz, even Manson. They have never said to anybody else.
But we got him to admit that the whole demon thing was totally made up.
He said that.
A complete crock.
Hiding in a basement or hiding behind a typewriter. What else do you enjoy?
I don't consider either of those things hiding.
Such solitary pursuits. You may not even be aware of you're affecting people. We can be somewhere else together.
Oh.
I'd like to be alone with you.
This is Special Agent Holden Ford. This is also with behavioral science. This is Warren
Freeman. I'll get you a drink, and we can finish our conversation.
The guard said he bragged he'd stolen sunglasses from an FBI agent.
This is Special Agent Ford. He's been key in developing many of the techniques we now use in the field.
Had many of the same experiences Bill's had.
I'll leave you in Agent Ford's hands. Excuse me while I take a leak.
By correlating psychological fingerprints to known behaviors, we're building a primer to understanding criminal action.
You know, it's cheating to hide with the wives.
Warren Freeman. I grabbed onto the first passing body. Happened to be Holden.
I never know exactly what it is I'm selling. I'm really just selling somebody else's ass up the ladder.
Right.
Still, it's a hell of a lot better than... Brian was playing with some older boys and a toddler, and the older boys ended up suffocating the toddler.
Oh my God.
Must have remembered the Bible story because he convinced the other boys to take the body and tie it to a cross.
How's Nancy?
She's not grasping that Brian might need some kind of help.
Holden doesn't know. I understand.
We should get back in there. Perform life support.
I hope I didn't frighten you off. I'd love for us to finish our talk maybe somewhere quiet.
Thank you, but I'm actually not feeling very well.
Just let me see you out.
No, Warren, I'm going to see myself out. I insist.
I just invited you to speak at the annual director's retreat. I accept it for you. And it's FaceTime with the director.
That's what we're hoping for tonight, this year. We can get home and loosen up a little. We see he's got something in his hands.
Hello? Hey, Holden. News from Atlanta.
Jim, tell me.
Another body, another strangulation. He's got some cans for chains, so I was hoping to do laundry. It's broad daylight.
Damn.
He's number 13.
Each night as you sleep, I destroy the world. See? Well. I loved this episode. So this was a very dark episode, y'all. And I realized everything. One thing I realized, I found this lip gloss on my desk, and clearly I bought it, and I don't remember. It is so good. It is honey apple, and I've been lathering these huge lips with this lip gloss, but that's not what you guys wanted to hear. You want to hear about the show. So let's get back to that. ADD is real. I told you guys I have it. Now, this season all deals with like, everything is tying in with like kids and murders and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's very fascinating that we were with Bill and everything that we're dealing with Bill. So his wife too, can be irritating at most times so far. But I have to understand, she is a mother. She's trying to protect her child. So she's just doing what she has to do. She's trying to convince everybody that her child does not have an issue or has issues. But it's clear as everything that her child clearly has issues and he needs help. I don't know if any of these people that we're meeting is actually going to have the effect to help this kid, because this kid seems to have serious issues. But hey, they're trying to do their best one. So then we dealt with how Bill was interacting even with Manson, and they're going back and forth, which was one of the highlights of this episode for me, just the back and forth, and how Manson was pretty much, Manson, I don't know if this is like a real interview, which I believe it is, but Manson keeps talking about this other world that he's not in, but the rest of us are in. And he was, I'm trying to understand how Manson were all of them put into jail for murder for the rest of their lives? I'm very curious. Was the Manson family all put in jail forever? Or sentences, is what I should have said. Manson family members who were convicted of various crimes in the 1960s, 4 remain in California state prisons. Quirk, I can't pronounce that name, is 75, has been denied parole 10 times. In May 2022, the board recommended she be paroled, but Newscom reversed the decision. Robert Kenneth, he's 75, has been denied parole 16 times. Charles Manson died 2017 at age 83. Van Holden's fellow attackers in La Banca killings and also remain in prison. Okay, so there's that. But it's still that the Manson family is actually a very interesting thing if we could dive into. I wonder if they made a show, kind of like the Jeffrey Dahmers, the murder cases, if they did that as like the Manson family, like a TV series that was similar. How about we find out? If you know, I'm all about researching while I'm live. Manson TV series show. Is there any shows? It says Manson, The Lost Tapes. But that probably is a Netflix documentary, and it probably does not deal, it's probably more like a documentary, right? I wonder what it's rated. A 6.6. It's not rated that high. I don't even know who did this. It normally stars. No, that's not who it is. But they should. I don't know why they don't. Inside the cult, Manson cult, The Lost Tapes. I wonder why they didn't make a show just like Jeffrey Dahmer's, but with Manson, because I feel like that would be an extraordinary show. Because he seems to be like this head honcho serial killer that wasn't a serial killer. He got other people to kill for him. But I do know that the killings was extremely gruesome. The point, my thought process is all over the place right now. But let's stick with one thing. That Bill and Manson going back and forth, and Bill looking at Manson, I feel like he was trying to relate Manson as the older boys that was with his son that did the killing. And then, well, actually, to tell you the truth, it was the son's idea, right? To murder, or was the son's idea to put the kid on the cross? Regardless, he was having a moment, okay? He was having a moment. He had a moment a couple of times in this episode. And also, another highlight was when he went back and forth with the woman and Holden. The woman her name has escaped me all of a sudden. Bear with me, y'all. I have barely had any sleep. And I know, I just watched the show, whatever. But regardless, it was, them going back and forth was also interesting. What I was interested also was the director or whatever this, the head guy of the FBI, he sent the lady, Dr. Whatever her name is, into, to meet that guy. People in Mindhunter. I just want to get the names right. Let's see if I can get the, so he set her up to meet this guy, right? And he like kind of unbuckled her thing and she had to buckle it back. Even today, in this age, being a woman must be extremely hard. Anything that a woman does is always sexualized, or men will judge them and like, oh, like for instance, this is just a random side note. I'm a nerd, believe it or not. I'm a gamer. I love games. And my homegirl, she's a nerd too. She loves games as well. So she created a profile on one of these little game things and she put a picture up of herself. Which right away she had to delete and put another picture up of like a cartoon, because men started inboxing her and like, oh, you shouldn't put a picture of that. Oh, you got me distracted from the game. It's just all this like, it must be just so hard. Women can't even play video games they have to put a picture up of something else because men just can't keep it in their pants even through video games, virtually. Like it just, and then here, like she's going here, which is primarily men, is what we saw. And she's being sexualized. But I would have slapped the shit out of him. I don't care, fire me. Like, fuck you. Don't make me like a pawn and then send me off to this creepy crawler. Child. And it's interesting that they're dealing with serial killers and people who are like that. It's just crazy. But regardless, move right along. This is back in the day. But as I said, it might be back in the day, but it's still present. Women are still sexualized and it's just irritating. Kemper also is, that guy who plays Kemper is everything. But Kemper and Manson, having them both in this episode, raise the bar beyond any standards of any episodes that I've seen thus far. Those two actors who played those two serial killers, Manson, not really much of it. Do you consider Manson a serial killer? I guess. Well, in here they did. They said inside a serial killer. No, inside the Manson cult. So they don't call him a serial killer. Regardless, you know, those two actors really brought it. They really brought it. And it made me very interested to continue to watch the episode. Duh, I had no choice. But it was very good. I liked it. These adjectives. But regardless, I cannot wait till we continue more. I do know it does take me a long time to get to Mindhunter. Mindhunter is like over an hour long. So I do my balancing. I do my big 1 to the 2s. But then there's always somebody that will comment and remind me that I need to get back onto the show. So we're here. And I will be, obviously, we're going to continue to watch this. As I said, I think what I might do with Mindhunter is put him on both my platforms, because it just definitely goes to the genre of my other platform. But I won't make it exclusively as I do with other shows on Andres Reacts, my other platform. So everybody watching this on Andres Reacts, hi, I'm talking like you guys are not here, but heidi ho, Winslow. But I think I'm just gonna do it for the rest of the episodes. But for those people that are on one platform, if you don't see the other reactions, go to the other platform because I definitely have this now in full 2 seasons. So thank you all for being here. Please smash that like button, share, don't forget to comment down below, subscribe to both my channels, hit the notification bell so you know when I drop all of my reactions. You want to see this in a full reaction? Of course you can. Once again, the link is down below to my Patreon. So sign up to Patreon, become a member today, and I'll see you all next time with more reactions.